So in this second video on while loops, let's go back over a little bit at first what we did the last time. So we set a counter. We have a Boolean value. While this is true, print this, increment the count. And then when it gets to the top, it will check on that condition. Has it been met? If it still is met, that is to say it's still true, then it will continue on. And we see where we got in the printout in the loop, and then we exited the loop when we got here. But there's other things you can do with this. And let's say there's other ways to break out of loops other than failing to meet this conditional. So, for example, let's change count to a letter index, okay? And you'll see what that means in a second here. So we're going to look for letter index, but we're going to have a text, okay? We'll say the text is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, okay? And we're not going to print that. We're going to say the letter that we're looking for is equal to the text, and we're getting the index value of the letter index. That's why we call it letter index. And we'll increment that letter index. So if we say print letter here, we would break out. I'm sorry, if we print the letter and then we increment the index, we'll break out when the letter index hits 5. So we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we shouldn't have a problem here. We shouldn't, what do you call it, throw an index error. We will still be within that string. So if I ran this, and let me clear it out and run it, so it prints out 0th letter, which is A, B, C, D, and then E. And that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 in index values. And to check that, well, if we let's do it this way, just to clarify this. Letter index will print right alongside it, okay? So it's at the 0th, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3, and the 4, right? Well, why does it break out now? Well, because at this point, the letter index, we'll just see this, is, you'll see, just like we saw before, when so it increments here, and so now it's at 1, even though, in this iteration it had printed out the 0th letter and then B. So here, it gets to 5, the last one. It prints the 4th, it increments, and then it says, hey, now I'm at 5. So it gets to the top of the loop and it checks, is it still less than 5? No, it's not. So it stops the loop and it breaks out. But there's more that we can do here. And this is where we introduce the keyword break. So when you're in a loop, you can also force it to get out by using the keyword break. So let's see here. We can say, we'll put a little space in there so you can see this. So we can put an if statement in here, for example. If letter equals, let's say, D, we can say break. And what this will do is it'll break you out of the loop entirely. So you won't even get to this point. And because 0, 1, 2, 3, so that's letter index 0, 1, 2, 3, you won't ever get to the 5 to break out. It'll break out as soon as it hits D. And just to prove that, so it goes to A, B, C, and then D, and it says, well, that letter is a D. I'm using this Boolean in here. That letter is D, so just break, and that's what you do. So that's the break keyword, and actually, this is quite handy, and we're going to use this a lot. But let me show you something else. Let's say we have to have that letter index. Let's say our character we were searching for, let's say character sought is equal to E, right? And if we say the letter is equal to the character sought, right? Break, and let me see here. So we could say break, and we could say print sought is at index print that out. Let's say we're going to run it again. Let's clear it out first. Okay, so do you remember the find method we used for strings, where it says, okay, you're looking for a certain character or a string of letters, right? And we want to know the index value, and we used find, string.find. Whatever our string is, .find, and put in what we're actually looking for. So we'd say character sought. And now this is an incomplete implementation of that method, but it gives you an idea of how it works, right? It says, well, you know, I'm looking for this, so, and this is my string. So I'm going to iterate through the string. I'm going to go through each one of them. And if I get to the letter I want, if the letter is the letter I want, break out and then return to me the index value. And here, I mean, this is not a function, but, or a procedure, but you can build this into a procedure. And it tells me, oh, you were looking for E, and it's in index 4 in this particular string. So anyway, you get the idea. And we'll pick this up in another video.